Armbar, I just got back the odd copy from our sponsors. Can you do the read for me?
Oh, boss, you know I can't read.
Right. Oh, look, it's Doubletail. Barry, can you spare a minute?
Sure. What's up? Also, I'm pretty sure I asked you not to call me Barry.
Well, Barry, our sponsors gave us this ad copy to read, and unfortunately our friend Armbar here can't read, so can you do the promo for us?
Sure thing. Hey there, sports fans. Baragon Doubletail here to remind you Bard Rock Cafe is brought to you by Dragon Master Games. Shop at their online storefront for your D&D and TTRPG products, as well as collectibles. We're now also partnered with Fanroll, who make high-quality dice sets, dice bags, trays and towers, and other accessories. Follow our affiliate link and use code BardRockCafe at checkout to save 10%, and a portion of your order goes to support the show. Finally, you can also support the show directly by subscribing to our Ko-fi. Subscribers get access to wild rewards like exclusive bonus content, tarot readings from Rook, social media shoutouts, and tabletop games with the cast. As always, all the relevant links can be found in the show notes. Now, let's rock!
Support the show, or I'ma come near ya!
You can't threaten your listeners.
It's not a threat, it's a promise! Support the show, jabronis!
Welcome back to Bard Rock Cafe's special miniseries For Whom the Bell Tolls, Part 3. I'm Paul, your DM for this adventure. And returning to escape the abyss are my wonderful players. Players, please remind the audience who you and your characters are.
I'm Dylan. My character is Prefect Carex, the diabolical researcher.
This is Khadija. I play Tina Chris Fistpump, the paladin dwarf.
I'm Meggie, and I play Megara, the tiefling warrior.
Hi, I'm Tensei. I play everybody's second favorite Pokemon, Muck. That's a real true fact. You can't debate it.
Wait, everybody being the entirety of Pokemon fans, or this chat specifically?
Everyone on the planet, Paul. And those off. International Space Station, Muck's also their second favorite.
Oh, I thought you meant aliens for a second. Okay. Oh, hey, and extraterrestrials play Pokemon.
Aliens haven't played Pokemon. That's silly.
They actually think that's representative of the Earth's culture, by the way.
I mean, it kinda is.
The reason we haven't been invaded is they think we have fire-breathing dragons. Anyway. Last time, our heroes continued their descent into Baphomet's lair, a complex, non-Euclidean labyrinth that is its own layer of the abyss, in hopes of obtaining the Book of Exalted Deeds so you can open a portal out of this hellhole of a crumbling plane to a relatively safe material plane, probably safer than you are now anyway. Along the way, the party learned that Megara, your tiefling fighter, is a convicted murderer banished to the abyss from Neverwinter as punishment for her gruesome crimes. That did not deter Grazz't, the demon prince who brought you all together, from trusting her to complete the task at hand, however. After Muck, the Lemur did some shenanigans to trivialize an encounter with a giant suit of magical armor blocking your path, you eventually made your way to a room where you witnessed the death of the elemental plane of fire. Before you could leave, the Pale Man's minions appeared and dogpiled on the demon prince, before the Pale Man himself showed up, seeking to end Grazz's life. But when the door to the next room is closing, do you turn back to help Grazz't, or do you push forward through the maze?
Screw him!
Who's gonna help a demon prince? I push forward.
Same, let's go.
Yeah, let's go.
Regrettably, Tina pushes forward.
Regrettably? What are you regretting?
I'm good and stuff.
Yeah, so the destruction of one of the most powerful demons' existence would be a fantastic thing for you.
You know, he helped.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, you can't get through this without me! He cries out as he's being devoured and killed, and you leave.
We'll figure it out.
No, bye. You'll be fine.
You just slipped a little bit into David Van Helmon's there.
I know, I'm the wrong character entirely.
I'm sorry, you should be like, bye.
Bye.
Anyway, so you abandon Grazz't to die. He dies.
Awesome. And he died on the abyss, so he is gone.
Yes. So you find yourself now in a chamber much different from the other. Normally you see like stone walls or some sort of illusion, but you seem to be in a garden of sorts, on an island that appears to be floating out in space, overlooking the cosmos. This looks like terra firma, though. It's like you definitely not an illusion. Everything holds up to scrutiny. Before you, in the center of this garden, is a woman. She's hard to describe, looking like a young girl one moment, an old crone the next, and somewhere in between that, in the moment after that. It almost pains you to look directly at her as a result. As you gaze upon her, you realize she and the island don't seem to actually be here, not in the same way the illusions are. It feels more like they have a bad signal, fading in and out of reality. You hear static, you see static. They kind of like become partially translucent and then solid again.
All right, I want to examine the magical effect that's causing that.
All right, sure. Roll. I want to say religion, but I'm going to let you roll Arcana.
Yeah, I am trained in religion too, but my Arcana check is better. Aha. That wasn't very impressive, though. 16.
All right. With the 16, I'll give you the benefit of what the religion check would have given you. You do recognize her, based on your religious knowledge, as the goddess Istis, because you recognize this as her garden moving over the web of fate, which is what the cosmos. Now that you look closer, the cosmos are actually more like you can see like little strings between the stars, and you get the impression this based on your Arcana roll that. Oh, this is a god projecting themselves into your zone, letting you basically be in their domain for a moment so they can communicate with you directly. Something often happens to people that are like chosen heroes in stories, and not usually schmucks like you. She does start speaking to you, but it sounds distorted as if she's underwater in a windstorm.
Carex directs his unseen servant to copy down everything that she says.
She looks at you as the unseen servant pulls out a book and a pen or whatever, or a scroll and pen, whatever you got going on.
I have a magic book and a magic pen, and it's got both of them.
Okay, I couldn't remember. It's been a bit, like a week.
That's fine.
Alright, do you share this information about Istis at all with anyone else?
Nah.
Alright, good, because she's gonna go,
You have done well to make it this far, but time is running short. I am Istis, goddess of fate. And much like the abyss, my domain is crumbling. It's slower than many of the others, its fate being tied to the tablets of fate themselves. When both tablets are destroyed, so too will be my realm.
She pauses, taking each of you in individually, as you are surely taking in her.
But maybe, just maybe, we can do something about all of our fates. You already seek the Book of Exalted Deeds, do you not?
I do.
Carex gives her a curt nod.
Mm-hmm.
Where Grazz't asked this of you for his own ambitions, I am pleading to your goodwill. Find the book and bring it with you to the material plane. Wherever you may wind up in the material plane, bring it to the city of Waterdeep. Fate's chosen, whose story you have seen as you progress through this maze, will need it if they are to stop the heralds of the apocalypse. Protect the book and deliver it to a small inn within the city's dock district called the Bard Rock Cafe.
Can I look into what I know about the history of the Goddess of Fate? Like, is the backstory?
Oh, sure, roll religion. Well, I pull up her Wikipedia article.
It's a 24.
You know that Istis is a goddess of fate from an area known as Greyhawk. It's kind of distant from the Forgotten Realms. The Forgotten Realms has its own deities of fate, but like, just in general, D&D, like, god lore is weird like that. Generally speaking, she speaks in this garden that overlooks the cosmos. It's called the Web of Fate. And the reason she appears as an old woman, a young woman, and something in between all the time is because she represents all aspects of life and creation from beginning to end.
Wow.
Yo, does Maggie have to roll 2d100?
She rolled a natural 20, I didn't catch that part.
Looks green.
Oh, so it does. Yes, roll 2d100, please. And I need to open my supplements.
4, 6.
4 and 6,
Ooh.
okay. A giant elk wearing a silver crown appears next to you for the next minute.
Oh, nice. It's beautiful. Nice crown. Okay, I'm gonna pet it. Nice to meet you, giant elk with a crown.
Roll animal handling.
Ha! I got a 4.
Go ahead and roll 2 more d100.
The chain wild magic surges again.
I love this gimmick so much.
9 and 26.
You regain hit points if you second win, but then you burst out laughing. So go ahead and roll a d10 and add your fighter level to heal up, assuming you aren't already at full HP.
I got a 1.
Alright, well, that's not a natural 1. You didn't roll a d20. It's just 1. So, are you already at full health?
Yeah, I think I was. Could use, Tina
instead-
healed me.
Yeah. So what I'll do is I'll just give you a free extra use of your second win should you need it in the future. So normally you get one per short rest. You have a second one you can use between now and whenever.
Thanks.
Yeah, so we'll do it that way. Yeah, the elk seems offended by your approach and walks away. It just runs off into the room beforehand and just gone. It's like, oh, you're still gonna notice this thing. It runs off to the Guardian. You don't see it again. It drops the crown. You can have the silver crown.
Yes.
Your head feels very heavy because heavy is the head that wears the crown. It's just a normal crown, though. Enjoy your nice silver piece of treasure.
Thank you. Stylish.
She looks at each of you, one after another. First to Tina.
A holy quest for a holy night. Of your devotion, I have no doubt. After the book is securely at its destination, let the churches of Waterdeep know I have personally quested you to unite them all and gather as many as they can safely within the walls of Waterdeep. They will question if you are truly been given a message by me.
You can trust me, oh goddess.
She waves her hand, and your little anvil friend starts to glow dimly.
I have bestowed your holy symbol with a fragment of my power. It should be proof enough of your request to them.
Or did I misunderstand what you just said?
You couldn't understand, like, verbally, or you don't understand conceptually?
Or did I not understand what you just said? So you just said basically that you're gonna give Tina the task to join everybody, right?
She's supposed to, like, go to the holy community. She's like, oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, like, conceptually she's saying, hey, go to the church. Tell the churches to all set aside whatever differences they might have. Unite together to get people. Yeah.
So I did understand. You can trust me, oh goddess.
I really thought that message to you was going to rhyme at first. I'm a little disappointed now.
I considered it. As I was reading, like, oh, hey, this could rhyme. And I decided against it. I wasn't going to rewrite it.
It sounded like verse, but that's okay. Maybe.
Her gaze then falls to Megra.
A quest for one who seeks redemption for their past misdeeds. I cannot promise you will find forgiveness in this quest, because forgiveness must be earned from those you wronged. But you can make penance, if nothing else. Unite with the other defenders in the city of Waterdeep and prove you deserve the redemption you seek.
I respect that. I'm gonna nod to her in deference. Thank you. I'll try to do that.
And then she shifts her gaze to you, Carex.
Maybe you only seek to survive, but what will you do with your life when it is spared? The pursuit of knowledge, your fate tells me. Once the book is safely in Waterdeep, your keen mind will help the city prepare for the time to come. Reach out to any contacts you have in the material plane, the Nine Hells or elsewhere. Beckon them to come help defend Waterdeep.
Carex doesn't visibly react.
She waits a few seconds in case you have something to say. She's just being polite.
That's a classic goddess.
And then she looks at you, Muck.
And last of all, the outcast. You seek to return to the home you once knew and reunite with your family, for better or worse. This quest will see you to that end. Once you're reunited with fates chosen, aid them in their quest to save the planes.
They sent me here.
Is that so?
I will not help them.
You're making me rearrange my thing. Okay. This is supposed to be later, but give me a second here.
Okay.
So Istis, she waves her hand, says,
I think you don't know the full truth, my friend.
and you start experiencing the flashback that you're supposed to experience later in this dungeon. The golden sigils appear as she shows you your own past. What does everybody see as we see Muck's life story?
In Muck's life story, we see it begin as he is sort of unceremoniously spawned into existence next to Brock. And they form an immediate bond. The Turtles' Happy Together begins playing in the background as...
Just a small note from the editor. It is beyond my pay grade to try to figure out the licensure of using that song, so instead we're going to use something else.
We go through a small montage of them adventuring together, Muck being carried around, always being very close to Brock and the rest of the team, and it's just a generally pleasant vibes. But as we arrive upon the last verse, the music begins to distort and crack as Muck gets infected with parasites from Zugtamoy. Well, not parasites. Mushrooms are parasites, right? They can be. I'm gonna call them that. And the last thing that it sees before the flashback goes black is Brock pulling a single string on his lute, casting Dispel Magic, which sends Muck back to the abyss.
And for a few moments, it is black. And you expect it to show Muck's memory of returning to the abyss, but instead what you see is the rest of the scene from the perspective of Muck's family. The scene continues after your departure, with Brock and Armbar both mourning your loss. Go ahead and roll insight.
I was really tempted to say that I elect to fail, but I didn't. I rolled, and I got a 22.
And with a 22, you can tell absolutely. Brock's intention was to help you. He did not mean to send you away. He did not foresee the consequences of this spell, that you were a magical thing, and the magic binding you to the material plane would be dispelled along with it. Especially because usually dispel magic doesn't dispel every single magical effect. Usually you have to pick one, by the way.
little bit of salt coming out, Paul?
No. That was just me commenting on, oh, hey, since that thing's happened, I've since learned the rules of Dungeons & Dragons.
Oh.
I would have rules lawyered back then, too. Yeah, no, Muck absolutely understands. This was an accident, and Brock has deep regret about it.
You see, as much as it can, Muck's expression sort of soften, and if he could cry tears that weren't already made out of himself... That's a fucking sentence, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
If Muck could cry tears that weren't already made out of his own, like, goopy, viscous self that would be more visible, he would be crying at realization that all of this hate that he's been carrying for who knows how long with all of this time bullshit evaporates.
And as you gain this realization, through Istis's power, you gain the benefits of the Awaken spell.
Oh boy, I gotta go look at what that does.
Yeah, you have the full intelligence, emotional range, etc. of a humanoid. So you go from being a limited verbal things, like, as much as you want to, you can now speak in more complex sentences and not like you're Lurch from the Addams Family. Also, now, canonically, Muck will have your monk stats and not just be a Lemur if he's used later, if Kenny so desires. Yeah, so you see all that, and it says...
As you see, my friend, you were not abandoned. It is your destiny to return to the chosen of fate and help them in their quest.
Muck is conflicted, but I will go.
She pauses for another moment. You can feel tremors in the ground beneath your feet as the island struggles to continue to exist under you.
Were I at my full power, I could give you more to help on your journey. Sadly, I can only offer you each of these tokens.
She waves her hands, and in a flash of light, you find yourselves adorned with upgraded equipment and items. For Tina, an upgraded warhammer, the Mace of Disruption, a belt of dwarven kind, and a potion of growth.
Thank you.
For Megara, a +1 Morning Star, a potion of speed, and you find your equipment has been changed. You have smoldering armor that's basically the same armor you had before, but now you look like you're on fire with, like, billowing smoke.
Nice.
And a dread helm, you're with your little silver crown on top of it, so you look super intimidating.
Thank you. If you are ever in need beyond this, I will come to your aid.
And should you help the chosen of fate save the universe, I will gladly accept it.
For Carex, a wand of the War Mage, a robe of protection, and some winged boots.
That earns another curt nod from Prefect Carex.
I appreciate being appreciated by you.
She points at you. And for Muck, bracers of defense, a ring of jumping, and a potion of heroism.
They all sort of land on the top of Muck and, like, stick in the goop. Just gonna sink into him as from the top of his head, like, a big sort of thumbs up comes out and also is both appreciative and engulfs the items, and then when it goes back down, the items are just inside of him now.
Floating around.
Awesome.
Go now. Find the book and help save the planes from their collapse.
She waves her hand, causing all of you to shimmer back into the maze. Epi, we just opened up a gift shop to help raise funds to rebuild the Bard Rock. Look at this fancy new design.
I'd love that on a new t-shirt.
You are transported to a world of t-shirts, all identical. You can feel your sense of self slipping away from you as the shirts reach out and grab you and assimilate.
I cast Dispel Magic.
Epi, where'd you go?
Wild magic. Don't ask, it was terrible. So, where's the gift shop going to be?
Oh, well, we have two storefronts, bardrockcafe.redbubble.com and tpublic.com/users/bardrockcafe. So anyone can support the Bard Rock.
You know, the coffee mug is really cute.
And that's not all we sell. We have t-shirts, hoodies, children's apparel, baby
Bard
onesies,
Rock
notebooks,
Cafe's gift shop
jackets.
is now open. Sales go to support the show. So if you want to help out and also get some cool Bard Rock Cafe merch, go check it out.
And that's everything we had so far. Epi, are you listening?
Hmm? Did you say something?
Epi, Diana, I brought you both a cup of tea. It's not Earl Grey, but I think you'll enjoy it.
Oh, I've had your tea, and it's all cups of lies.
First of all, I am the finest tea prestidigitation has to offer. Second of all, this is a new line of teas we'll be serving at the Bard Rock from now on by our partners at Many Worlds Tavern.
Oh, I've heard of them. I'm particularly fond of Sleepy Fields and Golden Root myself.
Well, look, if it's good enough for Diana, it's good enough for me. I'll have a cup of that Farthing Harbor.
Of course! Here you go. And I pour Epi a cup of tea.
Epi, roll perception to determine if the tea is made of lies.
Damn it. That's a natural one.
First of all, you are absolutely convinced Brock used prestidigitation on this tea. Second of all, you feel a wild magic surge inside you, and dozens of thirsty customers appear outside of Brock's food truck right here in the graveyard.
No worries, folks. We have plenty of tea from Many Worlds Tavern for all of you. Try a cup of Sage's Gate or Sacred Spring. Somehow I already have dozens of cups of this already prepared and steeped for this occasion.
Of course you did.
Want to brew some of this delicious tea at home? Just go to http://manyworldsTavern.com/BardRockCafe and use the code BardRockCafe at checkout to save 10% on your order. As always, a portion of your order supports the show. And if you're a coffee drinker like my good friend Armbar, they have options for you there too.
Brock, I'm happy for you and all, but get your food truck and all your customers off my lawn.
Sorry, Dan, I can't hear you. This tea is selling like hotcakes. And so are the hotcakes. Bye, everybody.
Where are we now, Llewellyn?
Well, Meanie, it looks like we've arrived in a universe where Jump Leads is part of the Bard Rock network of podcasts.
The Bard Rock Network? Wow! That's a whole new audience ready to experience our adventures jumping through parallel universes, like when we found that colony of religious robots, or the time we were chased by a knife-wielding dinosaur.
What about when you spent a whole episode looking for a bathroom?
We don't have to talk about that.
Listen to the scripted sci-fi comedy podcast audiences are calling a cross between Sliders, Doctor Who, and Lower Decks. Jump Leads. Season 1 available now wherever you get your podcasts. Season 2 coming soon.
Who was that?
Sounds like this reality is actually an ad spot.
An ad spot? Wait, so none of this is canon?
It was, until you asked that question.
The room's like loading very slowly as things fade in and out of existence. If you want to converse about anything right now, you have like a minute before the maze you resume fully corporeal in the maze.
So not enough time for a short rest.
Not enough time for a short rest. Are you particularly low on HP and or need short rest based resources?
No, I just at some point want to use my arcane recovery, but I don't need to do it yet.
Okay. So the next room is circular in shape, extending upwards a dozen or so stories. There are not ladders or stairs, but instead a series of platforms jutting from the wall, each about 10 feet apart, steadily increasing in height. Like a platforming section in a Super Mario game.
Well, I'm gonna use my newfound winged boots to go up and investigate the platforms more closely.
Ooh, yeah.
Okay, so you can go up there. Go ahead and roll investigation.
Ooh, that's a good one. 25.
The 25 can give you inspiration, because all you learn is they are normal-ass stone platforms. Because that's what they are. You wasted a good roll on finding out something boring, so I'm giving you inspiration.
Tina's gonna check the floor and see if it raises or something.
Alright, I'll also roll investigation.
Oh my god. It's a natural one.
You are very certain that it is a floor. Oh, wait, actually it's a stone floor. You technically have stone cunning. Go ahead and roll at advantage.
Oh, yeah. Okay, cool. Well, let's see what happens.
You're trying to detect unusual stonework.
I didn't do great anyway. 8.
All right, well, with a not natural one, I'll give you this. You realize something unsettling.
Oh.
The stonework is starting to shimmer in much the same way Istis's domain was. Pale Man and his minions are consumed enough of the abyss that the abyss is starting to fall apart at the seams, and the maze is starting to crumble with it. You probably don't have long before this particular room ceases to exist.
Okay, Tina gonna start climbing up on that first platform.
Roll your choice of athletics or acrobatics to ascend up the platforms, Tina.
Alrighty, athletics it is. And I got 15.
You make it almost a third of the way through, and then you miss a platform.
No.
You're going to take 3d6 fall damage, unless somebody has something they can do about it.
I mean, do I have feather fall? Yes.
Can I use my speed potion and my athletics to run up the platforms?
You don't need the speed potion. Athletics would be fine.
I am going to cast feather fall. I'm a team player.
All right, so you cast it on enough targets that nobody's going to take fall damage if they fall. It comes like up to 5. It lasts like a full minute.
Nice.
Yeah, so just be quick about it.
Okay, so you basically now have a minute's worth of tries to ascend these things, so the law of averages, you'll all get up there. Especially because one of you can already run up walls and can jump super high, and one of you can fly. Featherfall just trivialized this room.
Aha!
Aha!
So you make it to the top through different means, and avoiding all of my fall damage, my sweet, sweet fall damage.
Yeah, never leave home without feather fall.
Yeah.
Yeah. What is this? It's just Featherfall. It's like Wonderwall, but Featherfall. Alright, so what ends up happening is, there's out of the 3 rooms you keep seeing, the alpaca, the butterfly, and the raven, only the butterfly remains.
Not the butterfly, okay.
Not the butterfly remains.
We investigate the butterfly?
I think all the other doors we just had to open and then go through, and nothing really interesting happened in between.
Oh, that's the only door left, right?
Correct.
What's the possibility that it's different?
We're gonna find out.
Yeah, screw it. Let's go through it.
Alright, as you enter the room, you see an illusion form. You see a younger version of the half-elf girl from the tavern, who you realize was already very young to begin with. You see her playing in the unused rooms of a brothel called the Winking Beholder. Her mother works hard there, scrimping and saving to give her daughter a better life. Only, the cycle of poverty isn't so easy to break, and the mother can never quite save up enough to buy them a better life. The young girl, seeing her mother's struggles, endeavors to get for her mother the better life she deserves for all of her hard work. With nimble feet and fast hands and sticky fingers, she shows great aptitude for a life of crime. She never steals from anyone who couldn't afford to lose something, and the young girl eventually finds a mentor in a simple cat merchant, who is actually a fence that can sell her ill-gotten goods to. Her mother had struggled, she starts to accumulate a small nest egg that she might one day find them a better life. You watch as several years pass by in a number of seconds, and you see a single blue butterfly always seem to be following the girl, one seeing another just out of sight and out of mind, until one day that butterfly lands on her shoulder. She sees the butterfly for the first time, and as her gaze falls upon it, you see it somehow grow in power and stature. It flutters away from the girl, and as it does, a portal opens to the next room.
What's in the next room? Let's go.
Let's go.
You realize as you enter the next room, actually, as the illusion dissipates, the door doesn't appear. You expect it to. The silhouette appears, but it doesn't light up that way the other ones do.
Damn butterflies?
No, the illusion dissipates, and you're in a large circular stone room with the silhouette of a door covered in some sort of dark, necrotic energy. And you realize the room itself is actually getting darker. The other rooms have been, lit, kind of like as if there were torches lit, and even there's no torches visible. Now, this room is a little darker and dimmer. From the corners of that darkness, you see one of the Reapers, the Kenku, wearing the robes of the scythe, appear. And then another. And then another. You're surrounded by about 8 of them in total. And somehow you suspect they are keeping you from leaving this room.
Carex wants to investigate something very briefly.
Sure, go ahead and roll investigation.
Well, actually, I think it will be a different scroll check maybe when so what I'm looking for is I'm curious if the divine magic, like radiant damage or positive energy from the paladin, will be able to break through that dark muck without us having to actually fight these guys.
Sure, roll Arcana.
Total 20.
With the dirty 20, you see that it's like a vestige of their power. It's possible dispel magic might get it, or maybe some sort of cleansing effect, like the spell ceremony. The spell ceremony is going to take you a while. It might be easier to fight them.
I do have... Of course I have Dispel Magic. That is my last 3rd level spell slot, though. How many of them are there?
There are 8 of these things.
Okay. Anyone else have any bright ideas? I'll say that out loud.
I'll try holding up my new mace of disruption.
Yeah, I'd be willing to hit them with my Morning Star.
Several fists emerge from Muck's body.
That's not as bright as Carex was hoping for.
Muck's just like, it's fisting time.
So it doesn't matter that my mace sheds bright light in a 20-foot radius. Does it mean anything?
We've already got a light spell on someone's hat, right?
But this is like absorbing the darkness. I will say that it's countering the darkness.
Okay.
You see, as this light is being shed, they are hesitant to approach it, but they're still approaching slowly. And yeah, the aura on the door looks weaker. It looks like Carex, who would have had to roll a check on Dispel Magic, because this was like a 4th or 5th level spell, is now just going to be able to successfully dispel it, if he so desires.
Yeah, fine. Alright, goodbye level 3 spells. He casts Dispel Magic on the door.
The aura of magic that's keeping the door from opening disappears, and a golden aura appears. The Kenku are still pursuing, but I see you GTFO.
Let's get out of here.
Yeah. 8 of them?
Yeah, there were 8 of these things. Because Grazz't killed a whole bunch of them while he was trying to not die. You get the impression this place is swarming with these things now.
All the more reasons for us to be quick. I'm sure I would have used up more than one spell fighting them anyway, so let's just go.
I flee.
I really wanted to use what I could use as spells instead of mine, but here we are.
I didn't have anything.
In the next room, you see a sign that reads Bed, Baphomet, and Beyond. And you see a tiefling man in fine clothes holding a briefcase and laying nonchalantly in a queen-sized bed in the center of the room. Behind the bed is a closed door. It's about time y'all got here. My Lord Baphomet, given the dire circumstances before us, has asked me to approach you with an offer before you enter his sanctum in the next room.
Carex is skeptical of offers from demons, but he'll listen anyway.
Megara just side-eyes him on the bed. Ugh.
I'm only in this bed for the sake of making the Bed, Baphomet, and Beyond pun work.
That's some dedication.
The request is quite simple. Lord Baphomet cannot use the book to leave. You cannot leave without the book. Agree to bring he and his surviving followers from throughout the surviving portions of the maze with you to the material plane, and he will give the book to you freely and without conflict.
Whoa, we're gonna have to run around the maze again and find people?
No. Lord Baphomet can control the way the ebb and flow of the movements of the maze. He can let all of his followers that survived, there's few of us there are remaining, enter the sanctum with him if he so desires. It would be but a moment of your time.
The alternative is we need to get the book from him, somehow.
Oh yes, and he is a very powerful demon prince.
I know who he is, buddy.
We can take him.
Yeah.
How did you know my name? You know, my full name is Beelzebub, but my friends call me Buddy.
My knowledge of your plane is vast. Now be quiet for a second while we confer.
Alright, you guys do like a football huddle while he can't hear you.
Do I know, I guess this will probably be some kind of check. Has Baphomet been weakened by the destruction of his domain so that we might actually be able to take him?
You all know he had to use a considerable amount of his power to prevent his plane from being destroyed. You get the impression he would be weaker. That is something Grazz't had told you at the beginning of this adventure.
Yes, which I surely, with my 20 intelligence, would have remembered.
So yeah, we should beat him up.
I don't favor the idea of releasing a demon lord and his minions on the material plane. Also, this is another opportunity to permanently kill a demon lord. If you kill a demon in the abyss, it's dead forever.
I want to beat him up.
I have no interest in releasing him. Let's go.
Alright, should we kill this guy in the bed first?
Wait, what about Muck?
I mean, I kind of want to kill the guy in the bed just because he's lying on a bed and I think he's gross.
I'm not too offended by that, but I still think we should kill him.
Okay.
It somehow disturbs me.
I mean, I volunteer to kill him unless anybody wants to stop me. I'll hit him with my Morning Star. It's cool.
We're in agreement.
Are you talking about killing Beelzebub right now, because Beelzebub has shown no signs of hostility towards you, and will die when the Abyss dies unless you let him come with you, so.
Yeah, he could interfere with us. He could warn Baphomet. I say we take him down now.
I just want to kill someone, you know?
All right, then we're in agreement.
All right.
Can we get a surprise round as we just suddenly set up on him in his bed?
I mean, I guess so.
Yeah, yes. Well, so I didn't have a stat block prepared for Beelzebub, so he's a civilian level demon.
I was going to say level 1 commoner by default.
Yes.
So go ahead and brutally massacre this defenseless lawyer who was just
Got
figured...
him. Another demon worshiper down.
All right, but let's let Maggie have the benefit of killing him because she wants to, her bloodthirsty character, to get some blood.
Oh, of course.
This is just the all-out attack from Persona 3, where like everybody rushes in and then it's just a big cloud of smoke and limbs, and then as we pull back and the dust diminishes, it's just like a cloud of blood.
Oh, I was thinking the less graphic version of when they all clusterfuck attack that pigeon in Big Hero 6.
All right, Maggie.
Anyway, Maggie, yes, I'll give you advantage because he's expecting you all not to try and brutally murder him since he didn't threaten you.
What a fool.
Go ahead and roll an attack to kill this demon civilian.
There's no demon civilians.
I got a 19. Is that +1, so it'd be 20?
Yeah, you hit him. Go ahead and roll your damage. He has 4 HP, so... Oh, yeah, no, you killed him so bad he wouldn't even get death saves with 11 damage.
Nice.
He's a paste.
Yeah, he explodes.
You're welcome.
And all this cool dialogue I had written for him when you turned him down is no longer relevant.
Oh, no.
I mean, we turned him down the hard way.
Yeah.
That's why I wanted him dead. I don't know what he's going to do.
I did not engage. I just killed.
Yeah, so you now have access to this very comfortable room full of fluffy beds in which you can take a short rest.
Hooray.
Opening his briefcase.
You find a contract that he would have had you sign saying that you would let Baphomet go into the material plane with you.
I'm going to add that to my records. Useful knowledge. No, it's poor penmanship and spelling due to being written by a demon.
Excuse me, this demon went to law school.
Demons in law, that's a ridiculous assertion.
They don't teach you how to spell in law school.
Poor penmanship as expected by demonic lawyers, I remark in my book. Alright, oh yeah, so short rest. I'm going to use Arcane Recovery and get at least one of my 3rd level spell slots back and one of my 1st level slots back too.
I'm gonna take a little cat nap next to the bloody stain on the bed where the demon used to be.
I gave you nice beds to sleep in the bloody one.
Just a little nappy nap.
Alright, so the way this works, Maggie, is you don't have any hit dice to spend because you're at full health. You regain your action surge if you had used it. I don't think you used it yet. So yeah, the main benefit you guys taking a long rest is that Carex gets back a spell slot, because I don't think any of you used any other resources that recharge on a short rest. And a long rest would probably result in the maze collapsing.
I did lose 1 hit point for my very first roll of the game when I took that psychic damage. And I don't think there's going to be a whole lot of combat after this, and when he hits me for 51 damage, I'll have wished that I used it. Yeah, 1 hit died down.
Joke's on you, Baphomet's full strength stat block maxes at 30 damage per hit.
Ah, but he could get a crit.
That's true.
Alright, back to 51.
Alright. Do you have anything else you wish to do before you leave this room?
Let me see if I have any. No, I have something planned for my concentration, so I'm not going to do any buffs. Oh, you should use your potions of speed and stuff in case he attacks us immediately.
Okay.
How long do they last?
They last for a minute. I would just plan on like, oh hey, once we cross the threshold of this door, I take a potion. Like, it's a held action. If you see Baphomet, you'll get to do that before he does shit, if he were to ambush you. But he's not going to ambush you. I have dialogue written, and you're going to let me speak it like a Bond villain.
Alright.
Okay.
Alright, so anyone else have anything before you go into this room? You are all rested. You're topped off.
Nah.
We have to find the book. If the book is in the room, we have to secure it.
That is correct. Grazz't told you that it was in the center of the maze with Baphomet, who is guarding it until you figure out a way to leave the abyss.
So that's going to be my priority. I'm going to be looking out for where the book is.
I'm going to bear that in mind. Do you all proceed into the next room?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Standing before you is a size category large minotaur-like demon wielding a massive axe. In the center of this circular stone chamber with a dozen doors going to the other areas of the maze is a pedestal, upon which rests a glowing white book. You can see the pedestal itself inside of a wall of force, some sort of magical force field that will not let you just pass through it. You can never count on mortals to make the smart choice. Baphomet says to you all, brandishing his axe. If I must die in this place, I will take some comfort knowing at least I brought those down who would condemn me first. Everybody, roll for initiative.
Isn't this basically just the same thing as before?
Do you have a degree in marketing? Because I have a degree in marketing.
He's got you there, Doubletail. Your only degree's in the School of Hard Knocks.
Sure, whatever. Paycheck's a paycheck, I guess.
That's the spirit.
Thanks for listening to Bard Rock Cafe. We have the best fans. Remember to follow us on social media so you never miss an update, and be sure to check out our sponsor, Dragon Master Games, for your TTRPG needs. If you aren't already, consider subscribing to the show on Ko-fi to help cover production costs. Subscribers get special rewards like their own channels on the podcast Discord, personalized messages in the mid-roll ad spot, and more. And of course, we're partnered with FanRoll, whose wide variety of dice and other tabletop accessories are sure to have something unique to add to your table. Links to all that stuff can be found in the show notes.
Okay, now in the promo with their patented people's wink.
We did this bit already, but sure. I wink in a podcast, and it's really good.
It's called a callback. Thanks for doing the ad read, Barry.
I told you not to call me Barry.
Until next time, everyone, rock on.